Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Tonight, we are diving into something that I wish I knew when I first started my journey in Albion. Let's go! Tonight, we are doing something very different. We are gonna relax. After last video where I got my ass whooped in the abyssal depths, I realized that I need to get grinding. I need a lot of money. I need a lot of fame. So I made up a plan. This is not something that it's 100% foolproof. It's just something that I want to get started with. And I want to see where it gets me going. I made a little bit of planning, a little bit of how I want to handle it. And first of all, I want to see from a very beginner-friendly perspective how this would go. So first thing that I wish I really knew when I started is loadouts. This is the first thing that I wish I knew that I can start doing. So when you open your inventory, you press the loadouts button, and here you can create your own loadout. And this doesn't cost you any silver. You can do it as you wish with any kind of build online that you find, or you just brainstorm it yourself, how you would like to do it. But this is how I would do it. So I already created here a loadout that it's called Beginner Mix. This is a personal preference of mine that I wish I started like this. Let's first start with a weapon. I choose Battle Axe, and I can select a tier, but when you are in the beginning, you anyway will have tier 3 and start very, very fast with tier 4. So, you do this, you take the Battle Axe, it's 4,000 silver. If you go, let's say, a little bit on outstanding quality, it's almost the same price. If you go to excellent, that's when the price gets up. So let's stick to the golden version, the outstanding version, because it gives you a little bit of item power in the process as well. You put your first weapon, boom, 4,000. Now we go to an offhand, and so you take yourself a shield, a tier 3 one, you equip it, and this one costs you 1,000. Now, you want to focus on the way I built mine, so you go with the hunter hood. So you go to head, leather piece, and the hunter hood. This is again a tier 4 item. So in the beginning, you will have a tier 3 mercenary hood instead. So equip this one. A chest piece, which is leather, mercenary jacket, and this is one that you will have forever. As you can see, I also use it because it has one of the most versatile abilities. This one, Bloodlust, which you regain a lot of health when you need it, and this one when you are doing PvP and you wanna then you go to footwear, leather, and of course you equip the mercenary boots. And then of course you want the mount, and basically this is your loadout. You also go with a bag, you equip a bag, and if you want to go fancy, you also get yourself a cape, and this is basically your beginner loadout. And I recommend that you take with yourself
that you do
some stew, and you can directly go with the cheapest one, this one, and that's it. You don't need potions, right? This is your basic loadout. For your inventory, what you want to have inside all the time, sickle, and I hope that you will get to tier 3 and then you can upgrade to tier 4. And then you go to hide, tier 3, tier 4, or pickaxe, and then you go to wood. If you want also stone, of course, you can also go with stone. I am very behind it. It's extremely hard to grind until the end game, and only that's when you will start making money at tier 8, but that will take months. So just skip stone. And this is basically your loadout. So you hit save, and then when you go to your marketplace, you click on the last button here on loadouts, and then you click on your loadout and click on search. And as you can see, this, including both tools, this costs 58 silver. It might be even cheaper in your starting town, where you will find such items available for you to buy at a cheaper price. But at the moment, this whole set costs 58,000 silver. Extremely cheap. But then, after you're done, it should be in your first, 50, 30 minutes of gameplay, this loadout you don't keep. There's so many guides out there that are 0 to hero and put you in a tier 4 full set, 15 minutes. All right, so we are going now, finally, to tier 4, which, again, it's very fast. You get yourself an Adept's Battle Axe chest piece. We get the Mercenary, and then the Hunter's Hood, and then for shoes, you take either like this, or if you want to gather, like I do, you take your Expert Skinner work boots and Expert Skinner bag. But let's say that you don't want to gather, this is what you're gonna do. For a mount, we will stick to horses, because let's say maybe you don't have money.
Excuse me?
It's tier 3, normal horse. Now, for consumables, you'll go with pies. You'll get your tier 5 pie minimum, so it's 2k. You'll get for like 1 session, right? And for potions, maybe for the first time, you want to either get yourself healing, right? That restores your HP, or something that can help you clear up a boss or something. It's the poison. And that's it. Click on save, and then you go to the marketplace, click on loadout, beginner mix, search, and this one, your next tier, will cost you 187,000 silver. It's very easy to obtain 187,000, yeah? And I will show you how easy it is. Now, I'm not gonna do it in this particular set, just because I have my own set, which is very close. It's 300,000.
Wait, what?
But it's mainly because my mount is 100,000, right? And also my weapons are very expensive. Now, let's do a normal session in which we go hunting. You won't do it inside a little one. You will gonna go in a yellow zone. You are first starting, you don't know the game, so you wanna take it slow. You will find wisps in your yellow zones, common ones, and you will go there. I am in Brazilian, so I can simulate this without having to run searching for a yellow wisp. And that's it. You're inside a mist. And now you will pop your food, your mount, and let's get grinding. If you like my videos, consider subscribing so you will always get a front row seat when I upload. Enjoy! So we are starting off with 35k, right? Let's see how much a full 1 hour session yields us as a beginner, first starting. Tip number 1, the right tool for the right tier. Every resource type has a dedicated tool, an axe for wood, a pickaxe for ore, and so on. More importantly, you can only gather resources up to a tier of your tool plus 1. So with a tier 2 tool, you can only gather tier 2 and tier 3 resources. You cannot gather a tier 4 node without at least a tier 3 tool. Tip number 2. Tool progression is everything. You don't just upgrade your tool, you gain fame by gathering, which unlocks the ability to use the next tier of tool on your destiny board. To gather tier 4 resources, you must first have tier 3 gathering fame unlocked and be using at least a tier 3 tool. What you wanna do is also clear up any monsters that are glowing like this, and they yield a lot of XP. 3,700 for that one, compared to a small one that it's only 300 experience. So that means literally 10 times more experience, and you wanna hunt those. You need all the experience you can get your hands on in the early stages, and make sure you are equipping the weapon that you really desire to have, so that you can have the strongest start possible. Also, whenever you see those wisps in cages, go straight to save them. Do not wait or skip them, because they yield a lot of XP just by setting them free. Tip number 3. The power of Tier 4 gathering gear. A major milestone is unlocking Tier 4. This is where specialized gathering gear becomes available. Each set, like the Lumberjack's hood and Lumberjack's garb, provides powerful bonuses like increased gathering yield and defensive skills, making you faster and safer. Always aim to get the highest tier of gathering gear you can use. Tip number 4. Focus on the biome. Every major city and its surrounding zones have a primary, secondary, and tertiary resource. For example, Limhurst is in a forest biome, which is rich in wood. By basing your gathering operation out of a city that has your primary resource, you can take advantage of the local refining bonuses later. Tip number 5. Don't skip on gathering food. A pork pie or a beef stew is a must-have for any gathering run. Consumables give you a huge boost to gathering yield and speed. It's a small investment for a massive increase in profit. For example, now, this mist is closing in 5 minutes, and during this time, a lot of wisps are around the map, and you want to search in these 5 minutes for a good wisp, preferably, rare, epic, or legendary. But if you find an uncommon and by the end you don't find none, then you go with whatever you have. But instead of exiting the mist, you can just hop on from one mist to the other. Tip number 6. Enchanted is key. Keep an eye out for enchanted resources. These are far more valuable than their regular counterparts. And why this build is extremely strong is because you can clear up camps very easy. You just pop your W and then you hit with a few Qs and then line them up and finish them off. When you are low on HP, you can then, of course, use your second E ability. And that's why I love this build so much, is because you not only do not sacrifice your damage, but you also boost up a little bit your gathering. And you do it for your main gathering profession. Because, for example, the boots are equivalent to the soldier boots. They have the same skill that you are interested in, which is this one, right? But you also want this one. Oh, and there's a wisp. But as we said, we will search for a better one. And you can use sound to actually navigate yourself from one wisp to another until you find a good one. And if you don't find in your last minute a good wisp, then just use a common one and jump from one mist to another. Tip number 7. Time your runs wisely. Gathering during off-peak hours, early in the morning or late at night, can drastically reduce the number of competitors and gankers you encounter. The resources will also be more plentiful. I will now use this wisp, just because I cannot find a different wisp after I'm getting this tier 5.1 node. Tip number 8. Consider refining. It's not always better to sell raw resources. Check the market to see if the refined version is more valuable. With the city refining bonuses, you can often turn a good profit by refining your materials before selling them. Now, since we are in a different mist, we can search for what's going on in this mist. Sometimes you have portals, different camps. Tip number 9. The right mount for the job. In safe zones, a transport ox is perfect for its huge carrying capacity. But in dangerous zones, speed is your survival. A swift claw or giant stag is a much better choice, allowing you to escape gankers and move between resources quickly. Remember, a lost mount and gear is a bigger loss than just a few resources. Tip number 10. The solo ganker's best friend. If you're in a full loot PvP zone, your best defense is an escape build. This means using gear that gives you mobility and invisibility. A bloodletter weapon combined with a minor work boots or assassin hood can make you nearly uncatchable. Bonus tip: subscribe for more. When I see all of you joining me just to watch my videos, it warms my heart. Thank you all for coming back and spend your time with me. I will leave the rest of my gathering session play out so that you can see at the end how much I made after this run. That's a great wisp spawn. We are lucky. This is the portal for Brazilian. My R ability didn't trigger. I was pressing it and no problem. It didn't. It just didn't want. By the end of this first run, I've managed to gather resources worth of 350,000 silver. I am very curious how we will progress in the future.